Shredder sat on his throne, stewing in anger. Midoriya Izuku. Just remembering that boy's name was enough to invoke anger in the man. The boy had killed his daughter, had cost the Foot millions in all the attacks he'd done on them, and threatened to wipe the Foot out entirely. And yet despite the anger he felt whenever he thought about the boy, Shredder couldn't stop thinking about him. And of course, the amount of stress this caused him to hate the boy even more. Which only made it harder to think about anything else but killing him as painfully as possible. "I just need an opening," Shredder muttered to himself. Suddenly, the door to his throne room burst open, and a Foot ninja approached him. "Sir, we believe we've finally found an opportunity to attack Midoriya," the ninja said, before showing him a tablet. On screen was an image of Izuku in his female form, in a hoodie, standing next to Ochako, and a small child who was also wearing a hoodie. "We believe this girl to be Midoriya Izuku in disguise. She's been seen around with Ochako Uraraka, not long before she and Midoriya became a couple. They appear to be at a concert hosted by Blue Blur, a pro-hero whose sister is the head of the Midoriya Foundation researchers. And you've already scouted the area for Midoriya's defense forces?" Shredder asked, feeling his heart beat faster, burning for the chance to leap at Izuku's throat. "Yes, sir. We found numerous Midoriya Foundation troops, but not a significant force. And the Gamma androids have been spotted on the other side of the country, dealing with violent uprisings by a Quirkist group," the ninja reported. Shredder immediately rose up. "Then now is the time. I want a full-on assault. Get as many troops as we can, and get ready for the largest assault in the history of the Foot. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX Abel. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. I'm what you get when the stars align. Now face it, you're just an enemy. Blue Blur sang as he absolutely shredded it on the electric guitar, while his siblings played accompanying instruments. The concert was being held on a flat, grassy field, a good distance away from the city, although it was still very visible from there. The crowd around the stage was pretty sizable, nothing huge, but respectable, and standing near the front were Achiko, Izuku, and Seikyo, with Todoroki and Sori around the middle. Oh wow, they are actually really good, Achiko noted as she listened to the Blue Blur's band, Knock as the Underground, play on stage. Shame it's a bit hard to enjoy knowing we're about to be attacked. Well, at least Seikyo's enjoying it. Izuku chuckled as he looked down at Seikyo, who was doing some serious head banging. My body is moving on its own and I do not mind. Seikyo shouted as she continued to bang her head. So, what are the chances he doesn't take the bait? Achiko asked, holding Izuku's hand. Not big. Our guy on the inside gave us Shredder's real name. After that, we started to use Alice's quirk on him. He's been obsessing about killing me for days. And today he's almost certainly going to jump at the chance to try and kill me," Izuku explained as he leaned against Ochako. "Sir." Suddenly someone spoke in the earpiece Izuku wore. "The foot spies have taken action, and think they are in control of the portal systems." Izuku's body went rigid, and Ochako, feeling that the mood had changed, did the same. "It's begun." Suddenly danger sense came to life, and Ochiko's body reacted, grabbing Izuku and jumping out of the way, as suddenly Shredder's fist tore through the space where Izuku's head had been and stabbed forward. Immediately, the music stopped, and the people around them started to run and panic. Of course, these people weren't really people. Izuku would never endanger people like that. These were either Midoriya Foundation Army members, or what they called LMDS life model decoys. Androids that were indistinguishable from humans, but completely non-sentient. The Midoriya Foundation Army came out of disguise and started helping the people evacuate, alongside Blue Blur's siblings, while Todoroki Sori and Blue Blur himself went over to Izuku. Izuku watched as Shredder's fist quickly sunk back in through the portal, and the portal closed. "Everyone, remember the plan." A good distance away, portals started opening directly across from them. And from those portals came the Foot. First was Shredder, then behind him was Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Rain, Reptile, and Cybot, and what looked to be a black android, whose chest glowed blue. And then behind them was an army. Ninjas, robots, and mutants. Shredder stepped forward. "Midoriya Izuku, I have brought to you your death. Have you taken care of the ninjas?" Izuku asked. Although he acted like he was asking something more panicky. After all, he didn't want to tip off Shredder that this was a trap. "Yes, sir. Portal systems are back under our control," said the agent over the comms. "Good. Stand by for orders," Izuku said. "Triborg," Shredder said, calling the robot forward. "Kill him." Orders received. Commencing termination. Triborg said. Boom. Triborg exploded forward in a massive burst of speed. Okako put her arm in front of Izuku, and Sori rushed forward to try and intercept the android. However, as Sori thrust her claw at the android, suddenly, its body turned into smoke and passed through Sori's attack. Sori tumbled forward, but got into a roll and sprung back onto her feet, as Triborg reformed into a solid mass, and continued heading towards Izuku. As Triborg raised its first to attack Izuku, Ochako got ready to punch it away. Crockum! Suddenly Raiden came in, striking Triborg in the arm, and sending the android flying to the side. Triborg flew through the air, gaining quite a bit of distance before it hit the tumbling a bit before getting back on its feet and stopping itself. It looked down to see that the arm had been struck, noticing a slash in its armor. Problem detected. I cannot focus on pursuing Izuku Midoriya while this threat is active, or else this unit will be destroyed. Curses. Kill the cyborg as quickly as possible. Then focus back on Midoriya," Shredder ordered. "Orders received," Triborg said, before properly turning his attention towards Raiden and raising his arm. Suddenly a missile launcher teleported onto his arm and shot 4 missiles at Raiden. Seikyo caught the missiles with her telekinesis, causing them to explode mid-flight. So they did make an android using fractals. And a powerful one at that. Damn it. Izuku thought. Raiden, take care of him. Understood, Raiden said. Proc him. Raiden rushed forward as a bolt of lightning, rushing at Triborg. However, as soon as Raiden's sword reached him, Triborg turned into smoke for an instant, allowing Raiden to rush through him harmlessly. Normally this would mean Raiden would keep rushing past until he hit something. However, naturally, Izuku wouldn't allow such a weakness to be overlooked. Raiden, realizing he had gone past his target, activated the stop fractal. Stopping him in his tracks. This guy is gonna be annoying, isn't he? All forces. Charge! Shredder shouted. Suddenly he, and all of his forces, ran forward towards Izuku and his group. Blur, Sonic Boom max power on Triborg, Izuku ordered as his foes ran towards him as a massive horde. I have a feeling this one's gonna hurt, Blur said before, dashing away at max speed. Todoroki, Izuku called. Do your thing. Todoroki stepped forward and shot out a massive iceberg that rushed toward their foes at startling speeds. Shredder's eyes widened as he saw the iceberg approaching. He slashed a portal through the air, leading him closer to Izuku, and jumped through. Scorpion vanished in a burst of flames. As Reptile grabbed Cybot and Sub-Zero, and leapt into the air, over the iceberg, while Rain shot pressurized jets of water out of his hands, launching himself over the iceberg. And everyone else was completely engulfed by the iceberg, frozen and trapped in its clutches, as the iceberg overtook the portals, blocking any more enemies from coming through them. Todoroki looked up at the airborne ninja, and aimed his left hand, igniting it and getting ready to shoot out a wave of fire. Only for Scorpion to appear behind him, sword primed and ready to stab him through the heart. Shoto barely noticed him and tried to summon ice behind him to engulf Scorpion, but it would be too late. By the time the ice reached him, he'd already have been run through. If not for Sori running in, and kicking Scorpion in the head, sending him flying away, before vanishing in a burst of flames, mid-air. Thanks, Todoroki said, before turning his attention back up toward the descending ninja, only to find that they were using their quirks to cover their descent. Reptile was spitting down acid at them. Sub-Zero rained down freezing blasts of energy, Rain fired down water blasts, and Cybot made clones of himself. Sori grabbed Todoroki and jumped out of the way of the attacks, but this allowed the ninja to reach the ground safely. Alright, you pieces of shit, time to take a nap. Sori snarled, before activating her fractal. With an insane burst of speed, Sori rushed her foes. Too fast for them to see, Sori easily destroyed all of Sabit's clones, before punching the real one flat on his behind, kicking Sub-Zero in the head, and then going for Reptile. Sori delivered a devastating drop kick to Reptile's chest, sending him flying. However, the moment Sori dropped to the ground and tried to get back up, she realized just how much of a mistake that was. Ag. Shit. Sori hissed in pain, as she felt a strong burning sensation in her feet, making it hard to stand and forcing her to stumble. Crack. In the brief moment of her stumbling, Sub-Zero, still on the ground, managed to shoot a blast of freezing energy at her foot, freezing it. Fuck. Sori swore, now unable to feel her left foot. My body is covered in a thin layer of my extremely potent acid. Attack me at your own risk. Reptile growled as he got up, rubbing his now bruised chest. TCH. Sori lifted her frozen foot in the air and then smashed it into the ground, breaking the ice apart, although she still couldn't feel or move that foot, and the chilling feeling in her bones hurt like hell. You're gonna have to try a bit harder than that. Cybot got up and created more clones, and then, along with Sub-Zero and Reptile, started attacking Sori, while she dodged everything. Now with far greater difficulty, her injuries heavily reduced her speed. Todoroki was about to rush in and assist her, but he heard the sound of water to his right, and quickly made an ice wall. A blast of water in the shape of a blade smashed into the wall, shattering it. Shoto Todoroki, Rain said. I do hope you put up at least a little bit of a fight. Shoto sent another wave of ice towards Rain, and in response, Rain created a drill made of water and smashed it into the ice, drilling through the iceberg and heading towards Shoto. Seeing his ice crack, Todoroki jumped out of the way, as the drill burst out of the ice. Looks like this is going to hold me up for a bit. Damn it. Uraraka, Midoriya, you're gonna have to hold up by yourselves for a little while. Todoroki thought. Meanwhile, Shredder continued to close in on Izuku, Achiko, and Seikyo. Seikyo put up a force field around herself and Izuku. Grandmother, I will protect grandfather. You can go fight. Grandmother? Wait, not the time. Thanks, Seikyo. Achiko said, before running towards Shredder. Seeing Achiko coming at him, Shredder, just before Achiko reached him, slashed open another portal, right in front of Achiko. Ree! Suddenly a massive swarm of those Mauser robots flooded out. Huak! Achiko was taken off guard and immediately was buried under a pile of the small robots that tried to bite and scratch at her. Not doing any real damage, but keeping her in place for just a moment. Shredder jumped up and came down towards Achiko, his claws aimed right for her chest. Achiko couldn't see, but danger sense told her exactly what was happening. She raised her hand up through the swarm of Mousers, and then a mass of black whips, winded together, slammed into Shredder's stomach. Whaff! Shredder's mask fell off, as the air was knocked out of him with one mighty blow. Achiko tossed him to the side with her whips before recalling them. Then she slammed her fist into the ground, causing the battlefield to shake, and kicking up an explosion of wind that sent the mousers flying off and away from her. With them gone, Ochako got up, back on her feet, and turned her attention toward Shredder, who had also gotten back up. But just as Ochako was about to rush at him again, suddenly she felt someone grab her shoulder. "Huh? Get over here!" shouted Scorpion, before teleporting himself and Ochako away in a burst of flames. "Ochako!" Izuku shouted out in a panic after seeing her vanish. He immediately turned his attention to Shredder. Where did she go? Where did he take her? "She is the least of your concerns," Shredder said as he approached the shield Izuku and Seikyo were hiding behind. He stopped and looked at it, looking almost insulted. "Even now you hide behind children. Do you think a pathetic shield made by a child could possibly stop me? If it's so pathetic, try cutting through it." Seikyo scowled, looking quite insulted herself by Shredder's remarks. Shredder launched his fist forwards and sliced the barrier. His claws easily cut through it. But the moment the barrier was cut, Seikyo repaired, leaving them back where they started. "What? Cut through it all you want. I'll just repair it again," Seikyo taunted. "Clever. But I've played with you enough," Shredder said, before slicing open space again and making a portal inside the barrier. "As I said, that barrier cannot stop me." "No, but perhaps I can," said a voice from behind him. Shredder swiftly turned around, wondering how in the hell something snuck up on him. And his eyes widened when he saw who it was. "You, Shredder. At long last we meet." Giza stroked his beard, looking surprisingly calm despite the fact that he was facing the leader of the organization he'd spent his whole life trying to destroy. "All of this began with you," Shredder growled. "I will skin you alive and use your pelt to decorate my daughter's grave." And with that, Shredder launched himself towards Giza, ready to unleash every last bit of his pent-up fury. When the flames subsided and Ochako could see again, she found herself in what could only be described as hell. The sky was hidden behind a veil of smoke, the ground was made of searing hot rock, and pools of lava could be seen around her. Scorpion took his hand off of her and jumped back. "Welcome to the Netherrealm. A hellish domain, completely alien to our own world. This wasteland of fire and brimstone shall be your grave." "What, so you're just gonna run away and leave me here? Coward," Ochako provoked. Hoping that wasn't the case because she really didn't know how she was gonna get out of this one. Of course not. I will see to it you die by my hands," Scorpion scoffed. "But first, you must deal with the natives." "Natives?" Ochako suddenly felt the ground rumble. Hands sprouted out from the cracks beneath the rocky surface, and monsters crawled up all around her. With flesh that looked like a combination of meat and rock, horns, no eyes, and sharp jagged teeth, with claw-like hands and feet. The creatures roared as they surrounded Ochako completely, numbering in the hundreds. Ochako grits her teeth and got ready for a long fight. Izuku I'm sorry. Just hold out for a little bit, until I can find a way out of here.